Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Happy Tuesday to you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and all of you, and all of us, because all of us are indeed in this together. And you're going to find out on today's show why we need to know what these signs are. That's right, signs. You know, you want to go to this place or that place. You look for the signs along the way. You want to get to that concert. You know, you want to make sure that you hit NASA Coliseum. You don't want to miss the sign, because you missed the sign, you missed the concert, you missed all the fun. Who wants to do that? Not me. Today we're going to be talking about the signs. Yeah, that's right. I know that this channel is really into that stuff. From the Revelation 12 sign that happened September 23rd, 2017, to a pregnancy later, and another sign that I talked about in last week's show. If you haven't seen it, please see it. Very, very important show. The longest lunar eclipse, the blood moon, the longest one in our lifetime, that is happening on July 27th, at the exact same time that Mars will be brighter and closer to the Earth than it has been since 2003. If you watch last week's video, you understand why. There's something about that sign, man. I felt dying when it goes, something about the sign, something about that sign. That Mars, you know, the red dragon, the war god, Ares is another name for Mars. Mars is right now, the planet itself, it's raging. I mean, there's a storm that knocked off the rover, that Mars rover that was sent to it 15 years ago. That's how old my daughter, Shyla, will be, who was born on 9/11, 2003. Talked about it. Why did they do that, right? Something going down in the heavens, if you will. And whether or not that's a literal thing and literally happening, it doesn't really matter, because it is a sign. That's why they said there'll be another sign, that of a dragon that's coming after a child. Jason's show that I was just on a couple of days ago. It's called Dragon's Blood. I'll put a link below. You got to watch that show, because I explained how what I couldn't give to you in last Tuesday's video, what I'm going to try to give to you now. I gave a little bit on that show about how this sign was about the dragon, this great dragon, this red dragon, the enemy of truth, the enemy of life, the devil, right? These are all the names for it. The serpent, the Ouroboros. Okay, well, anyway, this great red dragon is coming after this child. And I explained how that child was that Christ, that potential, that life, that there was a seed that was sown within us, and we became pregnant with the possibility of more, pregnant with the possibility of finding out who we truly are, pregnant with the possibility of being endued with power from on high, as Christ told those on the way to Emmaus. To turn around, get back to the teaching of peace, get back to Bethlehem, because things are gonna go down, and you gotta be ready, and you should be looking for the signs. He said that. He said, look, you know when the weather's gonna be bad, you look at the sky, you say, oh, it's gonna be nice tomorrow, oh, it's gonna be bad tomorrow, but you don't pay attention to the signs, and they are everywhere. And the dragon sign being the big one. We're going to get into that. because the dragon is like everywhere right now. It's all connected. It's all playing out, and it is going to really, it's gonna be unsettling for some of you. Some people are gonna take this and they're gonna get all scared, but there's nothing really that we can do about that, can we? Fear is the enemy of truth, the enemy of life, the enemy of joy. You want to operate in there, you haven't been watching the channel long enough. But I, on the other hand, I'm gonna take this, and like that passage in Revelation 12, where that virgin, the pregnant mother who gave birth to the child, was protected, given the wings of an eagle to rise above it, so that when that dragon was flooding the earth with the lie, we'd be protected from it. Dark days, people would say, are coming. Hard times, people would say, are coming, and they're already here. The dragon's already after the child. I mean, it's already playing out. Right in front of us, with the abortion rights, right? Should we let the child live? And with the immigration, the child immigration, the child has been taken from the parents. The child has been taken from the parents. The system has taken the child from the parents, literally, figuratively, and symbolically. It's all about the child being taken. This shows about how that child is going to awaken. Because when a lot of people are going to talk about how the end is coming, I'm here to talk about how the beginning is here. Yes. You're going to find out that dragon is being thrown at you. You're hearing about it everywhere. From the Dragon Ball Z Expo that's going on right now. Oh, don't forget Magic the Gathering. Huge game, right? Big game, right? Well, guess what it's all about right now? How to find a good dragon. Strange how within just this last week, because that was the thing, right? Because, I'm all about the breadcrumbs here. And I knew that if in the stars, right now, that red dragon, which would be symbolized by Mars, the war god, making war with the saints, right? The war god. Mars, literally, thanks to Mr. BBB333, really cool channel. There are a lot of, great channels out there. When I was doing research on this alignment that was taking place, where all the planets, like right now, you can see all the planets right in the sky. They're all there because they're all aligned on the right side of the sun. Except for Mars and a couple of, just a little bit of time, Mars is going to swing on, it's going to oppose the sun, it's going to oppose the other planets, it's going to oppose Mars, right? It's going to oppose the Earth. It's an opposition. The exact same time that the moon is eclipsed for longer than it's been. It's so strange. This month, right? The dragon. Guess what? The ISS. The ISS, whether it's there or not, right? Well, the news, the SpaceX Dragon. You probably heard about that, the Dragon, right? It's connected to the ISS right now. You probably also heard about the SpaceX Dragon testing its landing to the Earth. Which is a little strange, don't you think? That just this week, they're testing and they're showing the SpaceX Dragon landing to the Earth. This thing that happens because there's this war in heaven. There's this war that's been within us, right? But you're feeling it. A lot of you, I know, right now are being persecuted by the dragon. That's the system, man. You know how hard it's been to get this video to even go? It's like real late. I've been trying to do this video for like hours. Everything is coming in the way of this child. I want to rip it away. They want to take that life from you. And with what's coming in, whether it's Nebrew coming in, and all of these signs were actually spelled out in the stars as kind of like a clock. You know, last time we were here this was what was going on. So we're going to leave. The next time our planet comes around, the Virgin will be crowned with the 12 stars, and the moon will be at the feet, and the travailing in birth, and then the dragon, and blah, 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 right? So that could be like that could also be a sign that there's going to be some kind of an alien invasion, right? That's the other thing people are worried about. They're thinking about, well, why wouldn't they? You know, the signs are everywhere. This is, you know, some people would say that it's crazy, but because there's so many religious people that are going to say, I'm a prophet, or I'm this, or I'm that. But there's stuff, man, there's stuff that never pans out, and it's always like, the Lord told me. I got to tell you something. There's no denying the signs. The fact that the dragon is like everywhere right now. Our president has dragon energy. Right? Some people would say it was dragon's blood. I thought it was dragon's blood, but then when I was doing the research, it was dragon energy. Now, the reason I say that is because when I did Jason's show, which you should check out, the link is going to be in there, he titled it Dragon's Blood, Conversation with Jacob Israel. And I thought that was so strange. And I'm going, what? You know, what's with the dragon? I keep seeing the dragon everywhere. And then I do a little, in my head, I hear this little voice, and it says, it's like, hey, you should probably research that. Why don't you see if the dragon is basically being thrust everywhere? And man, within like the last week, it's like everywhere. Like the cyclist who was on that famous dragon, you know, got hurt, critically injured. That famous. I'm not talking about like the bearded dragon that was found, you know, by the fire department. I'm talking like Kim Kardashian's dragon bloodline. It's interesting, right? Right? You got Kanye with the dragon energy. We hear, it's just strange. You know, I was even watching HBO last night, Sunday night, and they had the preview. They had the preview of, you know, what's to come. And the whole thing, if you get a chance to see it, is a reckoning is coming, right? And so it goes, you know, there's no justice in the world. You know, they're all lost in the world. You know, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what would you do? You know, it's time for you to make a choice, because a reckoning is not just coming. A reckoning is here. And then, of course, the dragon crashing into the earth. Coincidence? I don't know. You got to tell me. Is it a coincidence that there is a robot, a dragon, flying dragon? I mean, check this out. Man, it is an exciting time. But, you know, it's a lot of people, if you don't know how to see the signs, you get lost along the way. You know, a lot of people today, I know a lot of you are feeling pretty lost, right? And I got to tell you something. The light that helps people through the darkness, it's available to all of you. In fact, Christ, that light, is our life. The problem is a lot of people are dead men walking. Not a lot of people know life. And with what's about to come upon the world, a lot of people are going to find that maybe now they'll start turning to more. Because that's what we are. We are more. And we've been trapped into thinking that we aren't. And we've been brainwashed and manipulated and conditioned and programmed to believe that we are not. That's why a nightmare sometimes has to get a little worse to wake a person up. But that nightmare, too, if you're a lucid dreamer, can become a beautiful, wonderful, incredible ride that you've been buckled up for. And I hope that that is you. Because Mars is closer to the Earth than it's been since 2003. Even, you know, over the last couple of months, I've been sharing video after video after video. I mean, you forget about it. Like, you know, I did the Sign of Jonah video just a little while ago. that no sign will be given when the Son of Man's about to return except for that of the sign of Jonah. And the sign of Jonah he was swallowed by a great fish. A basking shark, the second largest fish, would fit that bill. And there was 1,440 of them or something like that off of the coast of Long Island. I did a video about this, about how the magnetic field is all flip-floppity, how the Earth is tilted so much that just last year or so, we have a new astrological sign, Ophiuchus. The serpent bearer, the man wrestling with the dragon. Interesting. All of this stuff is interesting. I've been saying buckle up for a long time because I had a feeling that we would be in for a rocky ride. But I think we're about to go up. You know, we're about to go down into this free fall of things that are about to come. And it's playing out there in the sky. And so I think it's interesting that as we see it astronomically speaking, with Mars in opposition to the Earth, with Mars in this global dust storm, bigger than ever, the entire thing, it's like a roaring and raging dragon. So much so that when they sent that rover, that Mars rover up 15 years ago, right? It's the anniversary. The storm put it to sleep. Hasn't been working. There's a reason they sent that rover there. If this has something to do with that planet, that Nibiru, the one that had my channel take off and go bananas, it's all connected perhaps. But in that story, in that Revelation 12 story, when that battle, that rages in, my last video was the war begins. At some point that dragon is going to be cast into the earth and it's going to be angry. And that's why people like you and I, when things are going to get more and more claustrophobic, when you start to see, you think that the flooding is bad now, you think that all the crazy earthquakes and the meteors, and remember the meteor that just went down there and they were looking for it and they just found like little pieces of it. Huge things, the size of a golf cart. We've been saying for a while we were going to see this stuff. We've been saying we were going to see great change because the change is upon us. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. That's why it's exciting. So after I did Jason's video, and by the way, on that thumbnail was that plumed dragon, that feathered dragon. By the way, you remember within the last year, once again, right? Dinosaurs are more like dragons. That's right. In Jurassic Park, it's the hybrid, right? Yeah, dinosaurs. They actually, what was last year or within this last year, they said that they're feathers. They have feathers. Yeah, that's in the news now too with the dragons. And it's not a strange coincidence at all that Draco, that sign, the dragon, right? It's out all year long. It's interesting. The eclipse that took place, the great solar eclipse where there was a big X over the United States and it cross-sects in Little Egypt, Cairo, Illinois, comes in at the 33rd parallel, Salem. All of this symbolic, spiritual stuff happening. But in 2024 is when that next eclipse happens. Yeah. And do you know what year that is? Year of the dragon. When I was talking about this stuff and I was looking into this stuff. And of course, I pop up my subscription link and I look at, oh my goodness, Rex Bear Leak Project. He's talking about the primordial dragon. It's interesting. Someone sent him some artwork. It wasn't even totally unrelated. And all this happening within the last couple of days or within the last week or so. The fact that the SpaceX Dragon is going to be hanging from the ISS above us for all July. If you got a Nintendo Switch, you're probably excited because Marked for Death is coming out. The Dragon. And a large dragon cover set an auction record. It's kind of like you just see this word just playing out everywhere. And the Met, of course, is featuring artwork, of dragons. So what does this all mean? Well, what I didn't know when I was working out and I was thinking about all this was I like Sufjan Stevens. I dig his music. He's just a really inspired artist, and I just I felt like buying an album. So I kind of just I was kind of hitting iTunes and I said Sufjan Stevens, and I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, buy that album. And then of course I look at the cover, and it's a cover of a man slaying a dragon. And I send this over to Jason, because we were, because I kept calling him up and telling him, man, it's like one thing after another thing after another thing. It's crazy. Not to mention, Mars is literally above my house again. That, fiery red dragon that is raging right now because of that huge storm. Spiritually speaking, astronomically speaking, literally speaking, in the world where we see children, the argument over children being taken from their parents or children being ripped from the womb, the argument there. And all of the, dragon references that are in the world. The fact that there's a dragon hanging from the space station above us. And also practicing its landing. SpaceX Dragon practicing its landing, which is what would soon come after this war begins in the heavens. Now, if that tells a story of maybe a planet coming in too, then that war could be, that Mars crowned with 7 heads, has 7 heads, the 7 primary planets, right? I mean, if something's coming in, there could be some, maybe that's why we're seeing more and more meteors, right? Does that mean that I'm going to, get all stressed out and get all scared? No, man. This is the greatest thing ever. This is why you got to go into your work when you go to your work, and you got to understand that you're like a super secret agent, right? You're more than you know. You got to understand that you're going to be given these wings, right? If you will, you're going to be high above all of the stuff that's playing out in the world, because I think metaphorically speaking, and spiritually speaking, I think that the dragon is that we're going to see a time of such oppression, and we're going to see, and at the same time, we're going to be told how liberated we are, but we're going to start to see all of this stuff. And, it's no joke that right now, there's a big fight with the dragon, that is China, this tariff war. On the Economist cover, before Trump was elected, Trump was sitting on the earth with that, with his rod and his crown and the American flag wrapped around the earth. Judgment, the judgment card. Judgment was coming. And, my videos, you go back. Judgment's coming. You have the sign of Jonah with all the basket. I don't know how much more I need to actually come on here and say, if you're not saying teach me the truth no matter what the cost, and you're not getting things right in your house, and I'm not talking you're going to die tomorrow. No, I'm talking about it's now not just a thing that you can just go about and kind of say, oh yeah, it's just make believe and it's just pretend. Kilauea, Pompeii came before, Pompeo. See what I'm saying? The signs are there. Are you paying attention to the signs? I sure hope you are. And I sure hope that each and every one of you understand that you are more than you know, and that the days that are coming, these are the days that I've been waiting for personally. Now's the time. The dragon, right? Being cast into the earth. You're going to be tried and you're going to be tested. Things are going to get hard for you, right? And I don't mean hard like in a terrible way, but I mean like things are going to get difficult. It's going to try to frustrate you. That's why I'm saying you got to seek peace. Seek the truth. Seek love. And give a hug to somebody that needs one. And don't forget, I love each and every one of you. Thank you once again. Please do share the video around if you think it's kooky that dragons are everywhere right now. Yeah. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.